Hello guys, thanks again for tuning into another video series. This particular series, I kind of decided to step back. We had good results from the threat hunting videos that I put out a little over a month ago. Got some great feedback. A lot of people shared it. A lot of you viewed it. I really appreciate that. Keep sharing. With this series, it's going to focus mostly on you know, over the years, as I've mentored and taught people, I keep hearing the same things over and over again. Hey, I wish I'd known this before I took that ethical hacking class or that advanced ethical hacking class or that pen testing or threat hunting or incident response, whatever the case may be. There tends to be a lot of fundamental, just basic operating system, command line, basic networking, understanding how packets get from one place to the other, that type of thing that's missing as the cybersecurity industry has matured and there's a rush of people trying to get into it. A lot of these fundamentals are just being passed over, and what ends up happening is once you get into a role where you're supposed to be technical and you're supposed to have the hands-on, you can't perform these things at the comfort level and at the aptitude that the organization, wherever you may be working, is expecting you to be able to. And a lot of times what I find is it's because people don't have those basic skills. Everybody can understand the basic concepts of how you do pen testing or the basic concepts of how you do threat hunting or incident response, whatever the case may be. But what ends up happening is to put your hands on the keyboard and actually do it is something completely different. So what I've put together here is we're producing a series of videos to basically be like your pre-pen test plus, your pre-CEH, your pre-insert whatever technical security certification you want there. Before you endeavor into spending money on these, go through this series of videos first, and this is for everybody for free, just to give you some chops, to get your hands on the keyboard, get into the command line, get into a Linux terminal, get used to doing some things. Now in the comments or in the description here, I'll post the links to the source files that you'll be using if you want to follow along and just do these little command line exercises, because we'll be going through a series of intro to Linux command line, intro to Windows command line, introduction to how networks work and how the protocols work. And again, just to set you up to where when you do sign up for that whatever class, you have these fundamentals down, you understand, you can actually hands-on do it, so these labs and things won't catch you up and kind of get you off guard, and you can flow, like you can get out of the class what you're supposed to be getting out of it. Whenever I do some of the demos and things, I always have people to come to me and say, well, that was really cool stuff you did, but you should meet this guy because I saw him hack the Starship Enterprise or something crazy like that. But what I always want to say is, well, great, somebody that can do this, but if you're really interested in it, why don't you become one of those people? Why don't you sit down, slow down, stop, get your hands on the keyboard, start just doing these things, and see if you can become one of those people. And what I aim to do is to put enough of this information out so that if you really want to do it without spending any money, you can at least get the foundation. That way, when you get into a class or when you get into a program, it's a very smooth transition, a very smooth ride for you as you flow from one skill level to the next. And I think that's one thing that's really missing is a lot of people come in, they get the certs, but they're missing the fundamental hands-on, how you navigate this, how do you do that? Because whenever you see us doing these things, as we're moving really rapidly from one command line to the other and copying data and parsing data and taking that data and making decisions and doing things with it, what really makes it flow is not the fact that we know how to use Nmap, we know how to use Metasploit. It's that we know all the little in-between stuff that you don't think about. How to use grep, how to use awk, how to use sed, how to use cut to take that information from one place and get it to another and use it in an efficient way. So I want to focus this entire series on getting you to that level. And we started off with just introduction to Linux command line. I'll take like 5 Linux commands that you absolutely must know how to use if you want to do this stuff as a profession, and we kind of work it from there. So there's going to be a lot of videos in this series, more than, I won't say how many, but a lot more than before. And please, please, please share this information, share these videos. Don't be greedy with it. If you learn something, share it with somebody else. Because the aim here is to try to help people get into the industry, a smoother transition, 100% without having to spend money. And then that way, when you do spend money on classes or training, whatever, you have enough foundation understanding to get the most out of it. So I'm excited about this. I don't think I've ever been as excited about any videos I produce. So I'm looking forward to getting feedback. Please comment, share the videos. We'll try to release probably once a week, maybe even more frequently than that if it demands it. So thank you guys for watching. Looking forward to working with all of you.